Actually, we don't go back to a so-called normal for another 119 days. Is that too slow? There will be some who are impatient passengers who see the Prime Minister adopting this overcautious, driving Miss Daisy approach and think that he should go quicker. We know that the Prime Minister wants to avoid a fourth lockdown at all costs because he's had to twice U-turn before on loosening restrictions and then bringing a lockdown in again. That's the last thing he wants, so he wants this to be permanent.
Our decisions will be led by data, not dates.
And that is why he's talking about data, not dates. And the language he uses is actually quite circumspect compared to how we're used to the Prime Minister being, which is much more optimistic and boosterish. Yes, he was saying that there is hope for spring and summer.
And a wretched year will give way to a spring and a summer that will be very different and incomparably better than the picture we see around us today.
But he was very careful to manage expectations. Now, people will react to that in two ways. There will be those who agree with the sense of overcaution, who think it would be completely foolhardy to suddenly open up as the vaccination programme is going well but hasn't been completed when it comes to all UK adults. That's not expected until the end of July, to suddenly rush things and be in a situation where cases go up again. Having said that, there will be others who say, because we are leading the world when it comes to our vaccination rollout, why aren't we then in pole position when it comes to economic recovery? We know that Lord Hague and other senior Tory figures have asked the question, well, if all over 50s are going to be vaccinated by the end of April, why not fully reopen then? There's already been some reaction from the likes of the IEA and hospitality groups saying, you know, this idea of only being able to mix indoors by May in the earliest, and that's 3 months away. Actually, we don't go back to a so-called normal for another 119 days. Is that too slow? So as Boris Johnson takes us on this journey, and government insiders have likened it to pulling onto the motorway slowly, not just suddenly driving in from a sideline, slamming your foot on the accelerator and going full pelt. They've said that gently and slowly you've got to get onto the motorway so that you can't U-turn and you can't come off. However, there will be some who are impatient passengers who see the Prime Minister adopting this overcautious, driving Miss Daisy approach and think that he should go quicker because we've got this Oxford AstraZeneca stroke Pfizer-led advantage over our European competitors. Why not capitalise on that and be in pole position?
The roadmap that will guide us cautiously but irreversibly towards reclaiming our freedoms while doing all we can to protect our people against COVID.
Of course, the public is welcoming this timetable, but I suppose they too are adopting a degree of caution because the government has still got a number of different measures to keep on assessing as time goes on, the effectiveness of the vaccines, the infection rate ongoing. And I suppose there is this sense that they don't want sage scientists who by their very nature are overcautious, changing the goalposts, moving the goalposts, and then the PM blindly following the science. When we know that, frankly, in this post-vaccination future for Britain, we should be in a much, much, much better position this summer than we were last summer.